All right, welcome to another one from the Outdoor Analyst. I've got a super fun one for you today. We're going to be talking about the CJRB Tundra. Now, this is an absolute beast. But before we dive in, hey, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button down below. If you're new to the channel, I would absolutely appreciate that. Or if you just like outdoor content, knives, axes, please, I would really appreciate that. Okay, let's dive in. And please leave some comments as we're going through this too. What other really good budget overbuilt folders do you know that's out there? This is the CJRB Tundra, and it is an absolute tank. 3 3/4 on the blade. It is 0.19 thick. It's a thick boy, and it's also about 8.8 inches long. So it is a very large knife, and I have large to XL size hands. As you can see, I've got plenty of space on this knife. It is a liner lock, which may surprise some people, but it's also got some specialty stuff in there as well. Now, I have had this thing actually covered in sand, so you may hear a little bit of grit. I've been beating this thing up, honestly. I feel a little bit bad about it, but it has taken a beating recently. This thing holds up. The D2 is, I believe, 59 61 on the Rockwell, and it holds up okay on edge retention. It's D2. I put this directly up against multiple versions of the ARR PM9. I would have thought the D2 would have beat it on edge retention. I think I got better results out of the AAR PM9, the spray form steel that they do. That's CJRB's, what we all thought was powder metallurgy, but it ended up being spray form. That's fine. Totally fine. How did the toughness of this knife work out? Incredibly well, because she is still flipping. She has good lock up there on the liner. It's pretty early, but it does fill the whole thing up on there. I have put this through, I don't know, 100 feet of cardboard, probably more than that. Actually, definitely more than that. I have batoned this through multiple logs. You should be seeing some videos on that or some shorts and stuff, just me batoning this knife. Well, it has absolutely taken a beating. And what is kind of cool, it's a liner lock. And I batoned with just pure liner lock. And also, CJRB kind of took the artisan cutlery lock version, where you can actually take this little piece and screw it in and kind of lock out the knife. It is pretty cool how that works. I did have this come out after beating it on a log for a while, so keep in mind, like, you know, it's not super permanent. But I also batoned this without that in there just to see, would I destroy the liner? I didn't. And after batoning, still, this one came perfectly centered. It is still perfectly centered. I haven't touched a pivot in any way, shape, or form. You can flick it out with a thumb. It's a pretty tough detent. It is absolutely meant to light switch that sucker, and it flies out like crazy. It actually has pretty good action. Now, ergonomics, this knife feels pretty much like a fixed blade, if you want me to be completely honest. It's a good size knife. This thing really feels good in hand. It's really nice. This is very subdued jimping, so it's actually very comfortable with a regular thumb. You can absolutely choke up on this thing, and if you're somehow worried about this ever going, just lock it out and you have no issues. So, as an overbuilt folder, very impressed. The D2 that they're doing, I think, is more on the lines of for toughness versus for real intenseness, but it is an absolute masterclass of toughness. I beat this thing through some pretty tough stuff. Now, it's like a saber grind from here. It's swedged up top, which is interesting, but it comes down to a very, very thin edge. Almost so that I was a little worried. Like, this is probably like 10 to 12 thou on the edge. Like, seriously, this is super slicey. But I also beat this thing up pretty hard, and I haven't had any chips or rolls, so I think they kind of went with the toughness on the D2, and I actually appreciate that. I would rather take it in the toughness, knowing I'm going to beat this knife up. So if you want a folder that you can literally go out, baton wood, feather stick with it, this thing feather sticks great because it's so thin. Really, really impressed. Now, let's do some comparisons. This is a PM2. from Spyderco. Almost everybody knows it. This is larger than the PM2. It is a taller blade. It is a longer blade all around, even on the handle. And yes, we all know that the Spyderco is a pretty good size knife. It is thicker on the spine. It makes the PM2 look pretty small, if you want me to be honest with you. Let's put these together because that's the profile. We know that the Spyderco is always a very tall profile. And it's actually just a little bit taller, which is wild because, you know, Spyderco. Much smaller knife all around, but because of how Spyderco does their thing, this isn't that much taller in the pocket if you want, like, total height. But it does have a flipper tab on there, so keep it in mind. The clip, it is not going anywhere. It kind of reminds me of like a 8010 from Cold Steel on the clip. Very similar feeling, but it is nice. Have no issues with it, to be honest with you. Super big win when it comes to size. It's not the biggest folder I've ever had. Here's like a Spartan Harsey. Size-wise, it's kind of close to the Harsey, honestly. It's a little taller than the Harsey, but if you're kind of looking at like length on there, very similar. Sorry, not left-handed, so that makes things a little fun. About the same blade length on there as well. So it is a taller version of a Spartan Harsey. It does get down to a thinner edge, I believe, than the Spartan does. It does. It really does. So keep that in mind. It's a tank. I'm actually pretty impressed with the liner lock. And I guess here's like a small, this is kind of my version of a tank that I usually carry around. It's the mini Adamas from Benchmade. And it is quite a bit smaller. I like it as a tank knife, but yeah, the Tundra makes this thing look tiny, to be honest with you. So keep that in mind. It is a pretty big beastie. And it really handles like a fixed blade. So here's like a Reef Circadian, really comfortable fixed blade in hand. They're both comfortable. I think the ergos of the Reef are a little nicer, but I mean, look at this. It dwarfs the Reef. It's bigger blade, bigger handle. Granted, the fixed blade's usually going to win because it's just going to have more contouring that you can do with the fixed blade versus a folder. But yeah, let's just be real. This is a fantastic overbuilt budget folder, usually coming in under 70 bucks, depending on the deal that you can do. I'll have links down below to their website and then also Amazon. I like this thing. I really do. It's not much of a thumb flicker like you can, but you got to really push past that detent. It's really meant to be an actual flipper. And I think as a flipper, it does great. It has wicked action. So this thing's fun. D2, don't be afraid. Their D2's tough. D2 has actually always been known to be tough, but this stuff is nice. I have no issues with it, and it does hone up really fast. I put this on the Work Sharp after tons of cardboard, and it just zipped up really quick. So yeah, let me know what you think down below. Leave some comments. Let me know if there's some other kind of budget knives out there that might fit it. I guess I should do one kind of this is the Tradition V2, I guess, from CJRB. It is a big, lightweight knife, and it is much smaller than this thing, all the way around. I really like this knife a lot. It's a pretty big blade, but it's super thin, super light. It's kind of like the oversized bug out in my mind. But yeah, this thing's cool. That thing's definitely cool. All right, let me know what you think. I'll catch you on the next one.